Coming to you from the Minnesota Vikings Town Takeover at Bears Sports Bar in Waubun, celebrating Mahnomen-Waubun as the Minnesota Football Community of the Year, joined by offensive lineman Rashod Hill. Rashod, welcome to Waubun.
Thank you, man. It's great to be here.
So what's the importance of the Vikings coming up and recognizing these smaller towns in rural Minnesota?
It's as part of Minnesota Vikings, I think we come up here to support these teams. I mean, these people in this small town, just showing them that, you know, we see y'all. We see y'all coming out supporting us and driving 3.5 hours for games, and anything that we can do, we coming out here helping y'all. If we need us to be out here, we coming. So we just out here supporting y'all. Y'all support us all year, so it's great to be out here and to meet all the local people, and you know, just to be here, man. I didn't even know that the Thunderbirds went 13-3. I mean 13-0. Oh yeah. I just thought they won state champion. I didn't know they went 13-0. Then not on top of that, but was blowing people out. Oh man, that's awesome, brother.
Yeah, except for the last game, which we're watching up here, it comes down to a fumble on Bold's last play of the game. So I'm sure when that happens, we'll hear eruptions as the fumble happens. So it was it's just unique.
Yeah, they were telling us about it. That's awesome, man. Something like that. They remind me of the Minnesota Miracle.
Yeah, it's basically,
Yeah, it's basically like that. So I was telling a couple of the young guys that, man, that's awesome, man. Y'all did this to get together a community and to go 13-0. Man, that's great, man. And then that happened with the fumble at the end. Man, I bet y'all was just going crazy.
Memories, of course. Yeah. Very, very special for this community, and then having you guys come up here to recognize them as the football community of the year, and the $10,000 grant that's coming their way to help with their equipment costs, and just having this huge celebration of Thunderbird football this weekend.
Yeah. The $10,000 gonna help them. You know, just to celebrate this, to come up here and see these guys smiling, just to be here to, you know, make a smile on their faces. It's a blessing, man. It's awesome to be here, man, and just experience new things and be out here and be part of representing the team, to come out here and give y'all this $10,000. And we know y'all gonna do big things next year too. So I'm looking forward to coming back.
Yeah, so we're going to talk work now, talking about the upcoming 2019 season. A couple pieces on the offense gone, a big one being Latavius Murray in the running game, but keeping on to Amir Abdullah. You've got Dalvin Cook, of course. How do those guys impact the game just as a running game and you as an offensive line?
You know, Dalvin, we lost Latavius, so that's a good friend of mine. Wish him the best with the Saints. We lost him, but, you know, Dalvin and, we got Abdullah. He's both of them bring their own special things to the game. Dalvin, he don't need but an inch. Abdullah, if he gonna make somebody miss regardless, and Cook, Dalvin Cook the same way, and just to have both of them explosive. You know, Tay Chain was like, if you know, we brought him in, he was like a physical back that was gonna go downhill, you know. But having them guys, they're explosive, they loose, and I'm ready to get to work with them. Yeah.
Do you pay any attention to the draft? Because a lot of this talk is the Vikings are going to go offensive line in the first round. How do you welcome in a rookie who's trying to make his impression on the NFL if this is a first round pick? Because there's a lot of expectations of the first rounder.
Yeah. It's you welcome in with open arms. Just because, you know, bring another guy in the day, you welcome him with open arms. You treat him like family. When I first got here, the guys welcomed me with open arms. I was with Jacksonville. I got here in the middle of the season, and you would thought I'd been in the whole year. Zim, Spielman, they welcomed me with open arms. They like I'm family, man. Like I've been there for years, and that was crazy about the Minnesota, man. That's unique. That it's a family organization, and they try to build here, and it's here now. And new guys are coming in. We gonna get on him, of course. You know, we gotta give him a little bit because he's a rookie. But other than that, though, we're gonna open arms with him and give him the work, man. We're trying to win a championship this year, so that's the goal. So that's what we're gonna do.
So expectations high for this upcoming season?
Most definitely. They should be every year. You know, you got a winning program. You used to winning. Expectations should be high every year. There should be nothing. Each year should be like we need to get this championship each year. And you know, right now I feel like we're gonna take it game by game and get in there and get to work.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us here in Waubun. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, we'll get back to those high school boys. The fumble's coming up soon.
Okay, I got to check that.
Okay, awesome. Rashod Hill of the Minnesota Vikings, broadcasting live from Bears Sports Bar in Waubun for the Minnesota Vikings Town Takeover.
We are here with the Minnesota Vikings and Innovative Office Solutions for our Minnesota Football Community of the Year. We are congratulating the group of Mahnomen-Waban as being named our Minnesota Football Community of the Year. So we are here for our town takeover with a handful of different events. This morning we're starting with a local radio station broadcast. So we have both the radio station from Mahnomen as well as our affiliate in Detroit Lakes that's helping us out with a broadcast today. We'll be interviewing some Vikings players, alumni, some of the reps from the community that helped Mahnomen-Waban win this wonderful award. Tonight we'll be having a business reception for local business community members and owners, and then we'll be having a booster club event back here tonight at Bears Bar to raise money for the athletic department. Tomorrow morning we're starting everything off with some youth clinics, so K through 4 and then 5 through 8. We'll be having skills and drills with our current players as well as our alumni. We'll have Victor the Viking out and some Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders. Following that, we will be doing a town festival. We'll have inflatables, games, prizes for everyone. We'll be giving our $10,000 grant and donation to the Mahnomen-Waban football team, and we'll just be celebrating this wonderful community. For being named the Minnesota Football Community of the Year, Mahnomen-Waban is actually receiving a $10,000 grant to their football program that they can use for new equipment, for the field, for anything really. And then they received the town takeover, which is happening this spring. So we actually came out last fall to surprise the community and let them know that they were being named the Minnesota Football Community of the Year. We recognized them at a game this winter. We had them out. We honored them on our video board during our game, and then having the town takeover this spring. This is the big prize for them.
I think it's just a tremendous honor. A lot of excitement for our communities, and just I think it's a reward for not only the players and the coaches, but the community itself and communities. And a lot of hard work goes into a football program, and it's year-round nowadays. It's not just here. So just a huge payoff and a tremendous honor. It's not hard to spend money when you're dealing with football equipment because a lot of that stuff is real expensive. So we are going to use it for equipment, and we're going to help. We're going to supplement all the way through from our elementary program all the way up.
This is a huge thing for our community. It was really hard to bring everybody together to combine the two towns for sports. So I think that getting this award really proved how hard everybody has worked to come together and bring the kids full circle as a team. Football is huge. Growing up in Mahnomen, football has always been every Friday night. That's what everybody does. So bringing the two towns together, I assume that Waban has also been a huge football community, was huge for all of us. And football is just what everybody does on Friday night, and it's been a huge component of sports for all of us.
I don't think it could have started any better. I mean, a great group of seniors, number one, and they came together well. I think they showed both communities what teamwork is all about and how you sacrifice for the good of the team, and we had a lot of kids do that. So I just think they've set the tone the right way. They brought the communities together, and I think you see that already here this morning. We got a bunch of people in a blizzard here to come have breakfast and just socialize. So just tremendous group of kids. I mean, they like I said, they came together, hard-nosed kids, and played their best football at the end, which is what you want them to do.
The first year, it was. I thought it was going to be different. I thought maybe it was going to be rough at first, but right away we kind of noticed that we were actually putting things together pretty well for two schools coming together, and it actually worked out really well in the end. It really helped that most of us already knew most of everyone, so it really built that chemistry right away. And then the rest of the year, it was smooth sailing. So we couldn't ask for more. Winning the state championship has always been both teams' dreams, I'd say, especially us since we started varsity football. It's always been a dream and a goal for us to win a state championship, and then finally our last year to actually be able to pull it off. It's like a dream come true. We finally get to do something that we've always dreamed to do.
It was crazy, I guess. A game that close and to come down to the last second strip, it was one of the best moments of my life.
This weekend I'm really looking forward to like seeing how all the kids can come to the football camp, learn new things, and just get better at their football skills and hopefully improve their game, and so they can do something that we did.
The drills kind of go in stages, so for the younger kids in grades K through 4, we kind of make it more basic just so that they're running around, kind of understanding the concepts that go into football, but also the concepts that you need overall in life, whether that's running, jumping, hopping, catching, throwing, just a lot of basic concepts so that they can get to understand the coordinated movements that you need as you go farther along in whatever sport that you play. And then with the kids that are in 5th through 8th grade, we kind of make it a little bit more advanced so that they get used to, putting their hands on the bags and jumping over bags and seeing things moving at them. So really overall just kind of that next step that you have to take as far as the coordinated movements that you need to make, in any sport, but particularly in football. The thing that you always appreciate when you watch kids run around is, number one, the energy level that they bring, but number two, the excitement, not only for the kids themselves, but for the people that are running the drills. I think it's one of those situations where everybody has a great time. You get to see the development in just a couple hours time frame, but you also get to see the bright smiles that they bring. So it brings a different perspective than when you're dealing with adults who have gone through all this stuff before, because it's all new to them, and I think you tend to appreciate it more when you're coaching the kids, and I think the kids appreciate it because it gives them something new and innovative that they can work on. This is important for kids and adults, really, because being fit is good for not only the body but also good for the mind. And the more things that you do that keep you fit mentally and physically is just great overall. It helps to stimulate the body, it helps to stimulate the mind, and overall when you're studying and then you take a little break and then you become active, it helps you to recharge, and then you can go back and study harder and study more effectively. And then when you're fit and you go work out, then it helps you to be that much more active. It helps with the muscle memory for different body parts. So again, you're basically hitting the mind and the body when you're active and participate in a lot of different activities during the course of the day or the week.
one fantastic thing that Innovative actually powers is the In Sports Foundation. And so the foundation's mission and purpose is to help kids participate in sports. And so we do that through 3 different channels. We have 3 programs. We provide camps in sports days, which are like we did today, scholarships and sponsorships. And so our role here is, one, we kind of power this whole town takeover program, and we partner with the Minnesota Vikings. And a big piece is we help lead the goal setting session and healthy eating sessions. So we'll team up with a couple of the players, Weatherly and Hill today, and really use them as ambassadors on how they set goals, why they set goals to be the best that they can be. We felt that camps are obviously really great in learning and drills and clinics, but there's more to that in sports. And so goals on and off the court. So we talk about, how do you set a goal as an athlete? How do you set a goal in the classroom? How do you set a goal with a teammate? And then how do you set a health goal? And so we kind of elaborate and talk about examples of different ways that these players do that. So we really try to take a unique approach into the whole camps themselves, rather than just having them go away, running and learning a few drills and kind of leaving them. And then we also let the kids take home a goal sheet, and then they fill that out with their parents, and the goal is for them to leave it up in their room and really accomplish those that they set for themselves. A big vision and purpose as our company at Innovative is to help communities thrive. And through our foundation, we're able to do that, and partnering with the Vikings has been absolutely fantastic for us to be able to make these programs come to life. And so we're super excited, and we're really, really passionate about what we do.
It is really important for us to get out in the local communities and the outside communities as well. So being able to touch cities that we usually aren't involved with as much, getting outside of the Twin Cities and being able to connect our brand with our fans across the state, as we know how much everyone in the community absolutely loves the Minnesota Vikings. We just want to thank everyone that was involved with the town takeover planning. So John Clark, Paul Clark, Tina Starkey, and Annie Baker. They have been wonderful helping hands during this entire process, helping us put together an event that hopefully the community will remember forever.
I think the Vikings honor really rallied the communities as well, because when we were nominated and we had a chance to win that, the communities worked together so well, and we had a couple obviously that really spearheaded that, but just the support from the communities going back and forth, and it was just tremendous.
We're broadcasting from the Minnesota Vikings Town Takeover at Bear Sports Bar in Waubun, celebrating Minoman-Waubun as the Minnesota Football Community of the Year, joined by defensive lineman Stephen Weatherly of the Minnesota Vikings. How you doing, Stephen?
Pretty good. Glad to be out here.
Yeah, welcome to Waubun. Is this as far north as you've been before?
No, I've actually been further north, Silver Bay, Minnesota, for a hiking trip with both my dogs and a friend of mine. But no, I'm glad to be out here. I've never been on this side, so close to the Dakotas.
Awesome. So what's the importance of the Minnesota Vikings coming to a town like Waubun, kind of outside of the metro?
It's important because we're not the Minneapolis Vikings, we're the Minnesota Vikings. So I feel like personally it's important to go and reach as many corners of the state as possible, right? And just show all the fans we have all over the state that, no, we're grateful for their support. They're able to come down to the city, or just if they can stay at home and support us and rock our colors and so on and so forth.
How's the offseason been going so far?
Good. I've actually spent a decent amount of time in Minnesota training. Whenever I'm not here, I'm back home in Atlanta, and sometimes I try to swing through Nashville to say what's up to some of the guys on the team that I know are still there. And of course, it's wedding season, so all the guys that are on teams that are getting married, they get married in the off season. So I got to hit a couple of those, and so it's actually been pretty fun. You're
talking Nashville, obviously a Vanderbilt alumni. You still stay connected to that program a little bit?
Yeah, as much as possible. I think this current draft class is the last of the guys that would have been there when I was there. So it's kind of sad. I really don't know anyone that's left there. A couple of guys at my position group, the outside linebackers. But other than that, everyone's going to be a brand new face. But I still got love and respect for those guys. I want to know whatever's needed from my end to help them out. I want to do as much as possible and try to help get as many Vandy guys to the league as possible. Right now, we're probably pushing 10, 11 max, right? And so we can be like an Alabama or LSU and just have guys on every team. That would be amazing.
Been with the Vikings a couple of years. You've experienced both training camp in Mankato and now in the new facility in Eagan. Walk us through your first impression of walking through the doors the first time of that brand new facility.
Breathtaking. First time I went there, my first 3 times going to the new facility, I got lost every time. Right, and so the Wolves spared no expense. It is the nicest of the nicest. We have 2 areas dedicated just for our nutrition and development in that regards. Our indoor facility is amazing. We have 4 outdoor main fields. We also have a stadium on site that we use for some spring practices and of course training camp showcases and so on and so forth. But everything is just nice. We have a cryo room that can fit up to 4 guys, and it drops to like negative 100 and something degrees just for the quick recovery aspect, right? And so, like I said earlier, the Wolves spared no expense in this building, and it's nice.
The 2018 season didn't exactly go the way you guys wanted to after the NFC Championship game 2 years ago. What are some changes maybe defensively that you expect for the Vikings to make this season?
If more than anything, it's just getting back to that iconic brand of Zim defense. It's just sound. If there was one word to put on it, everyone knows where they have to be, and everyone does their job, so the man next to them can do their job, right? I don't think we really got away from that, but I think we're going to put more of an emphasis on that moving forward. And then when we do our job and get 3 and outs, that just gives the offense there more time of possession. That gives them more opportunities to do what they do. Big Rashod's over there chopping it up with some of the single A state champions in the background, Thunderbirds, and so the more time he gets with Kirk and Dalvin and Adam Thielen and Diggs for them to do what they do, and it helps us out because the way they put up points, then the opponent's offense have to try to pass, and then you just got to let the dogs loose at that point. So if anything, it's just about us getting back to our style of defense and not taking so long to do it and doing it from game 1.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us here in Waubun today. You can get back and ham it up with those state champion with Thunderbirds over there.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, awesome. Stephen Weather, the Minnesota Vikings, joining us for the Minnesota Vikings Town Takeover here at Bears Sports Bar in Waubun.